Greetings, Rummies, and welcome to Rum Rum, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to our race of the ASRC on the Clio Cup, or Russell Cup as they call it, in Moscow this time. I'm Serta, but I'm as always not alone. I have the wonderful Eike to commentate with me. How are you, Eike?
I am about as rushed as you are, it seems. Technical issues and life issues abounding left and right tonight. It's not just the heat that's been causing issues, and my heart goes out to any of the drivers that are based in the UK tonight because it is absolutely boiling still.
Ay. But yeah, as you can see on the images, we don't have the tower that we normally have because that one I use through a specific system that rFactor 2 gives us, which is controlled via the browser. But if I go and open up the browser window, rFactor 2 goes to the browser window. So I have it in two different monitors, so you can see the full image. And anytime that I try to do anything on the browser window, rFactor 2 moves with me. It has not done that ever, but today is the day for some reason.
I don't see us live. Do you see us live?
Yes. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Twitch.
I don't see it on YouTube.
I know why. And it's because it's privacy unlisted. Public, no.
That explains it.
That's my bad.
That's cool. That's fine. We got it fixed.
Public. Yeah. If I could get the issues with rFactor 2 fixed as fast as that, but
exactly.
Somehow I'll have to do it through this year. It's not the nicest way, but it's the only way.
If it works, it works. We don't argue with it.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Oh, good. Even better.
So yeah, it works clicking up, but still. It's somehow not a good day for rFactor 2, it seems, for whatever reason.
But we're here, and that's the main thing.
Exactly.
So you'll be relying on us more than usual for the call-outs of where everything is happening, and we'll need to make sure that we do the full grid come the end of the races. So yeah. Once again, since if you haven't been here before, welcome. This is the Russell Cup. Renault Clios going around a large variety of circuits on this week's version of the race. We are at Moscow Raceway, a relatively unknown circuit in the larger scheme of things, but a very interesting circuit. Serta, you were saying before just before the broadcast, not really something you're a fan of.
Nah, I saw a race of the DTM a long time ago on Moscow, and after that I raced here myself on Race Room, I think it was, and I think it was as somebody watching on TV as well as somebody racing on it, a quite boring track with nothing special and not a good flow. Maybe with the Clios it's completely different. What do I know?
As I said to you before, I think that this wouldn't suit Formula One as it was designed for, but for sure it would suit the WEC. It's almost a shame that it's in Russia, and because of other things going on, there's precious little chance of anybody going to Russia for, well, anything in the near future.
Well, that too.
Speaking of, because there was something that piqued my interest as far as Moscow Raceway was concerned on their Wikipedia page. And where's it gone?
Hi, Marty. Cheers.
It was originally Indy at Road America was way more fun than F1. No, I totally agree with you.
Well,
I
that's
absolutely
easy.
agree with you.
I mean,
Yes.
first of
It's
all,
not
it's
difficult.
Road America, which is, for me, one of the best tracks the US has and one of the best tracks Indy races on. And second, it's IndyCar. IndyCar is tons more interesting than Formula One. So I won't fight you.
It goes to show how much more interesting spec racing is compared to, let's say, free formula racing. But at the same time, the purists want open formula, and it's like, do you want a development war or do you want a race? Because you can't have both.
Yeah.
Even the Le Mans this year. Oh my goodness. It's not an open formula, but it is very clever in how it administers its balance of performance. And it's all very convoluted, but the racing that it brought out a couple of weekends ago now, my goodness, I'm more than happy to watch that over and over again for the rest of the year. This is the first time that we've spoken on air since Le Mans, isn't it? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Because last week we didn't have Russell Cup because Nick was at Le Mans.
Yes, absolutely. And the gentleman himself also. Hey, welcome, Jeremy, courtesy of Marty.
Hey, Jeremy.
Gifting memberships.
Thank you, Marty.
But yeah, it's what an interesting. The whole of the centenary was fascinating, including what I think is the most what's the word? The most interesting of revelations was
the NASCAR car.
GT3s actually work at Le Mans.
Why shouldn't they? GTEs have worked at Le Mans since forever.
But that was the thing that everybody was decrying when they heard that the GTE cars were going to go the way of the Dodo at the end of 2023. All of the Le Mans purists were up in arms that that it wasn't going to. There were no more GTEs. But the GT3 cars are just as good. They may not be as fast, but they will fit into the stratification so much better than the GTE cars against the LMP2s. And yes, the Garage 56 Chevrolet was mighty.
Although that was so utterly changed to fit Le Mans that it was a GT3 car. It was a GT3 car with the envelope of a NASCAR.
Yeah, I actually think that it's since GT3 is a balance of performance category. I do think that the spoilers should be slightly more open. I would love to see more ducktail spoilers on GT3 cars. There we go. Our side will have to take a side seat for just a minute, as we unfortunately, due to technical issues, weren't able to capture the qualifying, but Klemen Sedusak took 10th place in the qualifying session, and so will take pole position in this first 5-lap sprint race. A slightly longer race it's going to be tonight. Nick Stefenko, the man himself, for advanced competition in second place. Raul Silvestre in third with the MC Motorsport Clio Cup. Rodolfo Biarad in 4th. Neven Adricevic in 5th. Mati Sola in 6th. Carlos Abizanda in 7th. Domen Gantar in 8th. Mark Carroll, interesting name there, in 9th. And taking pole position in the qualifying session, but will start 10th, is Mr. Gasper Mrak.
Which is interesting because it's the same qualifying result in the first 2 places as we had in the last race at Tor Poznan, with Mrak coming first and Marc Carol coming second. At the end, in the races, Marc Carol winning, but it's very interesting indeed.
Absolutely. Coming out of the top 10, Marcin Sokolowski will start from 11th and qualified 11th. Vladislav Zenkov in 12th. Damon Dolnech in 13th. 14th will be Alexei Savaliev. Ricky Jimenez in 15th. And Antanas Papranopoulos will start from 16th. Now, Papranopoulos, I think, is going to be a dark horse to make his way up into the top 10. Only 5 cars between himself and that provisional pole position for the second race. Yep, I've just seen that as well.
That looked very much like netcode.
It did look like netcode.
Because he was flying above the track.
Yeah, but he came back onto the track so smoothly as well. That's a peculiar one. We need to keep an eye out for that from Mr. Sefenko. Why is he leading the drivers round as well? Very, very fast formation lap.
By the way, it's as it always is with R Factor 2. The moment you show the racers up, the FPS go down, 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 down. So if you see the system showing not fluid video, it's because R Factor 2, for some reason, the moment you start showing this scroll here up, does not get well with the FPS. It's so unnerving because R Factor 2, when you're racing, even on VR, it's quite fluid. So I don't know why this, which should be nothing at all, brings something like that. It's strange.
Optimization is a thing.
On the other hand, there was a posting on the R Factor 2 forum, I think it was by a dev, and I have to look very deeply into that and try to fiddle with the things so that it gets that my R Factor 2 is optimized. But I have a 3080 Ti here, like it should be able, in theory, to deal with some scrolling letters.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I've got a 1080 Ti with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. It absolutely shouldn't be taking as much horsepower as it is to be able to... I mean, we can create SimHub dashboards that will run flawlessly in this system.
True.
Oh, car in the pit lane. That's Papranopoulos.
That's what we did in the AMS2 Community Cup, so... Hey.
Absolutely. Green flag, and we're away for round 1.
Couple of racers don't come out that well. I think one of them was Marc Carol.
I was watching to make sure that Mr. Papranopoulos was going to come out of the pit lane cleanly. There we go. Oh, let's not talk about Le Mans Ultimate. Mr. Mesmaker. But Papranopoulos has been released, and all of a sudden, wow, 4 wide going through turn 4. Turn 3, I beg your pardon.
So I've turned out I've turned off the scrolling names here, and I'm gonna use them only when needed, because as you can see now, R Factor 2 runs smoothly.
super, super smooth. And this is what we would normally expect from our Factor 2. Hey, at least it's not doing what ACC does, where if it dips below 60 FPS, it appears like 24. Or as soon as it goes below 60 FPS, all the animations default to 24 FPS. Make sense of that how you will. So, Nick Stefenko, as we come round to the end of lap 1, as I said, this is going to be a very, very long, comparatively, race here.
Because Moscow is so long, you mean?
It's quite an exceptional track as far as length is concerned. And for sure, I mean, the thing is as well, look at how long that straight is.
It's almost 4 kilometers long, so yeah.
Yeah, if you get a decent drive off of turn 12, which is going to be a difficult thing to do regardless because of the nature of the corner. Yep, little bit
going white.
Yeah, just pushing the limits there. Nothing too harmful at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. So for now, no penalties given, but who knows?
No. There's more than enough time for that to become an issue.
For penalties, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would hope that 5 laps wasn't enough to get a penalty like that, but you never know. Further down the field, Ricky Jimenez in 8th, fighting with Gasper Mrak. Gasper finding his way past, but having to sit behind Mark Carroll at the moment. The pace between those two, close enough. To the car ahead of Carroll, but they have started to make their way to the front. I think this may be a challenge for these drivers to get to the head of the field as they did before. Is that Matty Solar as well? Yeah, Solar's going up to challenge Stefenko for the lead. Stefenko's pushed the tyres maybe a bit too far. Maybe that escapade off into the grass has damaged them slightly.
Yeah, because Solar is getting the better of him.
Yep, Stefenko goes defensive. That's the only thing he can do, and it is a tight corner up at turn 13 here.
Yeah,
so Stefenko
it's a 90-degree corner.
Absolutely.
But Solar gets the better exit.
But gets balked by the yellow and black Clio on the exit and had to check up. That's bringing both of them back towards Carlos Abithanda. But up the inside this time, there is side-by-side contact. Stefenko goes out wide and will keep the place. Touch and go, that one. Who's going to argue with the admin, though? As this is the thing, it's now a 3-car battle for the lead as Abithanda falls behind Matty Solar, but Abithanda, you've got to say, has had enough. There's a big dive up the inside.
And gets the first place.
Gets the lead, absolutely. My goodness. And there we go.
Stepanenko almost gets turned around.
And the front-wheel drive nature of these Clios absolutely saving him.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do that in an MX-5 Cup car. As I say, it's a completely different driving style, as we have been saying. Mark Carroll suddenly up to 2nd position. Matty Solar.
Well, it's not so sudden. I mean, Mark Carroll is leading
of course,
the cup for a reason.
Yes, absolutely. But it was not so long ago that he was circulating in 6th, and now he's up to 2nd position through what has been an incredibly tough fighting at the head of the field here.
Oh, but takes the curve very wide.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. He's got his teammate behind, so if they do undertake each other, then it's not the end of the world for Solar and Mrak. In fact, I would put forward that Mrak might actually ask Solar to pull out of the way for him so he can hunt down. There we go. No defense whatsoever from the Matty Solar car.
Of course not. I mean,
but trying to use the speed that he has to go around the outside. That was a beautiful corner, a little bit wide, but he'll have a certain amount of warnings to be able to hold that off. And crucially, slots in behind Gasparek and in front of Ricky Jimenez.
as they did already in Tor Poznan.
Yep. Really, really good team driving here. And if this is repeatable in the coming races, this could be, as you say, just as in Tor Poznan. And I'm pretty sure we saw it at the Knife Circuit, whose name I've forcibly divorced from my brain.
The one before that, or
Norris Ring? That's the one. Norris Ring. Yeah, we saw some good teamwork with the slowracing.com cars in the feature race for sure. But this track very much more suited to the more aggressive and open racing that we're used to from these Clios.
And Solar helping Carol. But now that again, Jimenez getting the better of.
Grief.
He has some issue.
Yeah,
he has some issue because he's going out.
Solar, after all of that hard work, retires back to the pits. Mark Carroll takes the lead of the race.
What a surprise.
What a surprise indeed. And Stefanko now all the way down to 8th position. He's had a mare the past few laps. That's a 27 car. Missing a wheel. 10th place.
Oh,
Solar ran out of fuel.
What?
On the final lap of the race as well. Yeah, so second to last.
So he maybe had qualifying fuel and forgot to put more in.
Yeah,
been there, done that.
Yeah. We've all been there. I mean, it's much. That's understandable. Imagine taking to the track on a wet setup with dry tires.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, same. That one I've done. Right. So what's happened here? Stefanko's been taken out by one of the slow racing cars. Oh my goodness. And Savaliev was an absolute passenger in that. Absolutely no fault of Alexei there. He was minding his own business. And yeah, that's awful.
And I believe we are on the last lap of the race.
We are absolutely on the last lap of the race with Mark Carroll unsurprisingly leading.
Avitan on second, Mrak, who is second in the overall standings, on third.
This is where it's... that was a really good line from the 89 car. He's going to have a lot of straight line speed coming out that corner. You saw how he left the apex later than Abadanda. With the draft, is he going to be able to do anything on this final corner of the sprint race?
He's on the outside.
He needs to minimize the damage to Mark Carroll if he's got any hope of holding on to this championship hope.
And, no. I don't know.
Still there.
No, he didn't.
It's going to be close.
No, he's not going to make it.
He's got
No. He didn't make it, but just like that.
7 points go the way of Mark Carroll, then 5 points for Carlos Abadanda. I'll put my teeth in again. And 4 points for Gasper Rek in the third place. Quick run down the final standings then. Ricky Jimenez from very far down will make it to fourth. Neven Andresevic will go to fifth. Domen Gantar to sixth. Klemen Sedusak in seventh. Eighth will be Sokolowski. Stefanko demoted all the way to ninth after being involved in an altercation on the back straight. I think it was the advanced competition car. MC Motorsport Clio of Raul Silvestri in 10th. Papranopoulos makes it all the way to 11th, just outside of that provision of that pole position. Vladislav Zenkov will start 12th, Rodolphe Broud in 13th for the Green Flag Garage car. Kowalski Motorsports, Demian Donech will finish 14th. Alexei Savaliev will DNF in an incident that was none of his fault whatsoever. An apology coming in from Stefenko to apologize for that incident that took out the Savaliev car. And Matti Solar running out of fuel on lap 4 of 5. Lessons learned. I don't think we'll be seeing that mistake being made again.
So, Pablo Lopez Garcia is asking, what happened to the HED on the stream? So, I was saying at the beginning, but I can repeat it for all those that have come later. It's very strange. Normally, I have 2 monitors open. In one monitor, I have the browser, and with the browser, a pseudo server that allows me to show the HED and to choose the cameras. So that you have what you see is controlled by what I do on the browser. Today, for whatever reason, rFactor 2, every time that I want to go to the browser and open it in the second monitor, that should not matter to rFactor 2 at all. It just says, oh yeah, you're opening the browser. Yeah, let me come with you on the second monitor. And I'm like, no, keep on the first monitor. No, I want to be on the second monitor. And screw the first monitor. On the first monitor, we just show the desktop. And I'm like, why rFactor 2? What are you doing? So
Just
I don't understand the behavior of rFactor 2 here.
Just like Dolnech set the fuel for 8 laps, and somehow it took the fuel for the qualifying session. He ended up having to pit, which is why he ended up in 14th. But this is just hashtag rFactor 2 things.
Yeah, like really. So
what we'll need to do.
Let me check one thing. I'm gonna be showing you the driver standings while I'm trying to deal with the browser. But I think it's not gonna work. Once again, it's not gonna work because it's not been working half of the day, and I have not. There we go again. Like, you cannot see it, of course, because you don't see. Like, now I have the browser on the first monitor, which and rFactor 2 on the second monitor, because of course that's the way I want it. No, I don't. rFactor 2. No, I don't.
I have one suggestion that may work for you. That is opening up the dashboard on a second device. That's all I've got. That's all of it.
Yeah, the problem is
yeah. So next week it'll be a return of the SimHub dashboard.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending if it's if Studio 397 have sorted everything out yet.
So let me check one thing, because this is not localhost, but maybe
it will be. Yes, I was going to say it will be your local IP.
Yeah, which I have to find out.
Aha.
Give me a second.
This is where it's really useful to not be monitor capturing, because then you don't dox yourself.
But although I tried it once and it didn't work, but and I got it right, because sometimes sometimes I use the Unix command to show it instead of the Windows command. So my IP
I'm trying to get it to work for me now, and it's not. Studio 397, what have you broken? Do tell. Did we have a good weekend? I went to see trains and then spent far too long trying to fathom Formula 123, which, don't get me started, there's a video coming that's going to have all of my opinions and a couple of certers. Here's a spoiler-free preview. Certa, what did you think of the script that I wrote? Do you think it was on point?
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know, because I was not able to
yes, of course,
to start F123. Well, I was able to start F123, but
so you got to witness the worst part, which was the backing music that you couldn't turn off until you got into the main menu.
God, that music.
No hate towards the artist, obviously. Like, they were doing what they were told. It's clearly been commissioned. It's just how anybody thinks that generic pop music is an appropriate thing to put behind Formula One.
And it's not even generic pop music. It's mediocre, pseudo hip hop, trip.
Do you know where I would have
you want to call that?
Do you know where I would have expected it? Is in the Forza Horizon 6 soundtrack. That is the music.
Okay, so I'm sorry to all the Forza Horizon.
Yeah, as I say, so the Forza Horizon. Oh, we have a tower now. Excellent.
Yay!
It finally jumped into life. Yes.
Well,
so
yeah, because I'm using the second computer, the streaming computer, to do that. I mean, whatever works.
Yes, exactly. If it works, we don't argue with it. We'll take that for everything that it's worth. Yeah. But yes, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Keep your eyes around the channel. There's going to be a review of Formula 1 2023. Sorry, F1 23, because 2023 is just far too long for the modern age.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you say 2023, your TikTok stops.
Yes. Yeah. As though anybody's. It's an interesting thing. Is F1 23? I wish. I wish EA had nothing to do with it. It may be better. But,
well, it's not that much different to what to what the Codys have been doing all these years. It's only that now the micro payment BS is even worse.
Yes, absolutely. No, it is very much egregious, bordering on the anti-consumer at this point. But again, it's EA. What's new? But back to weirdly more positive racing. Round 2 of the evening for the Russell Cup, and as you can see from the tower, Raul Silvestri will lead the drivers away. A very different race, and if you look to the bottom of the top 10, it is Abithander, Mrak, and Carroll, not in that order, once again needing to work their way up the field in a similar order. I could well see Carroll getting past Abithander in the first few corners and pushing Mrak to the head of the field, using him as a battering ram to to make his push towards the head of the field. Another, what will most likely be very brisk formation lap as well.
Speaking about good things, not everything is doom and gloom today, much to the contrary. Rallycross is coming to Automobilista too.
Oh no. Oh well, I need that. Oh my goodness. I as I say, I've been working all day. I've literally come from work into that. So, when are we doing the Vroom Vroom Rallycross Championship?
Oh my goodness. So yeah, with the so-called Adrenaline DLC, Rallycross is coming into Automobilista 2, which is of not a big surprise because we all know that the Madness engine on Project Cars already was able to do Rallycross. But on the other hand, now imagine Rallycross with the physics that Reza have been putting in and that are coming also on the 1.5. This is gonna be glorious.
Yes, absolutely. As you say, Project Cars was many things. What it was, of all the things that it was, DevNotes for MS2. Yes,
Exactly. That's why we know that.
yeah. Of all the things, the foremost of what it was an unfinished dream. And now that Ritz are putting their very intelligent minds to that code, they are really starting to. They're really starting to mature that engine, and I have no doubt whatsoever that once again it'll be a Madness engine game that takes the crown of the preeminent off-road racing sim.
Yeah, I mean, it's Reza. It's Reza, and I have every belief in them being able to pull off Rallycross very well, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of the work that they've been doing on the 1.5 has also have had to do with Rallycross. So
yes.
That's gonna be impressive. That's gonna be very interesting to see.
Well, that was one of the things that was lacking, quote unquote, obviously, from the Project Cars 2 Rallycross, was that you could run the cars as low as you liked and they never ground out. The recent fixes that we've seen from AMS2 have been precisely to address that. So, some of the off-road exploiting you're able to do in Project Cars 2 no longer possible. Also,
all right, so we're about to start the second short race of the evening with Silvestre Stepanenko. Oh, and Silvestre got a penalty, I suppose.
Jump start.
Yeah.
He rolled, he crapped just before the lights went out.
You don't want to do that.
USA 2023 feels way better on gravel. Thanks, Rocco. Cleanly through turns 1 and 2, which is exactly what we expect from these Clio Cup drivers, side by side in towards turn 3, and it is Papranopoulos and who is falling away. Alexei Savelyev has fallen back to 14th, being quite brave. Big dive up the inside for Savelyev. Punts his teammate, I think. Zenkov Raidsiv, yep. The Zenkov in Zenkov Racing gets pushed out of the way to make room for his teammate. I don't think he necessarily meant for that to happen. Slow racing cars are together.
Once again?
Yep. With... Oh, no, it's... Ooh, slow... Wait, hang on.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. There's a car... There was 2 cars together there for a second then. Oh, I'm not on replay.
And Mark Carroll already on 6th.
Yep. And Gaspar Mrak, 5th now.
Okay, he's been shown as 8th here, but R Factor 2 always needs to for the cars to go through a certain point before it updates their position.
Carroll in 5th, Mrak in 8th. Soon to be 7th if he can get his braking together on the apex of turn 13. Oh, this could be 2 in 1. Pushing him right to the inside. Clatter and bang.
Oh!
And
who did he turn around?
That was needlessly aggressive from the Birad car, I think. Give me a second. No, it wasn't Birad. It was Sedusak. Yeah. In what number car is he? He's in 10th at the moment.
On the other hand, Silvestre profiting, going wide, but profiting from all that shebang behind him.
And able to at least make a bit of pace. I think that was more on Sejisak than it was anybody else.
Okay.
Because yes, Mrak had every right to be where he was. I feel as though it made no sense for Sejisak to go defensive there. He was already trying to attack the car ahead. And it kind of he made more of a mess than he needed to.
Brown on the chat saying he's only driving Rally X, Rallycross if I will race him. Man, well, okay, let's.
He won't be the only one.
It would be a race for the last, because I know that Brown. Like, I'm worse than Brown, but Brown is not the best driver out there.
It's fine. What we'll do is we'll make it on a weekend. We'll get Cody to commentate, and you me and Brown will just fight over last place.
Cool.
As long as they put my Subaru in there, I am happy.
Let's see which cars they're gonna bring. They're also gonna bring buggies from the pictures that they posted, so it's gonna be very interesting. So, while we are talking about 10,000 different things, Marc Carol has put himself already on third place, soon to be second. Man.
His drive up the field has been relentless
as
all
always
this evening. It's such a shame that we can't have a conversation with him, because that would be... I would happily just listen to him.
Like, I can have a conversation with him, but I would have to translate every sentence.
Absolutely. It is unfortunate, but at the same time, absolutely fantastic that Carol is taking part here. And the thing is, as well, is that all these drivers, for the most part, driving, up the outside, big sideways moment, and a big dive as well. That's an interesting move from Stefenko. Really outbraked himself to try and keep the championship leader behind. And now Doman Gantar gets in front of Marc Carroll. Well, around the outside. Is there such a thing as in front of Marc Carroll? But Stefenko's got a poor exit. And now Gantar is going to stick his nose up the inside, cement that place. Stefenko, is getting very wiggly on that rear axle, maybe leaning a little bit too much, leaning on Gantar as well.
Yeah, not good.
Getting very ragged in this lap 3 of 5, and is that going to be up the middle
3
for
wide,
Marc
3 wide
into the final? This is so unwise. This is so unwise. I have no words for what is about to happen here. Big twitch
who goes
up the back. Marc Carroll backing out of that, using as Abivanda getting it very wrong on the brakes, locking up the rear, it looks like, and going into the barriers. Did he actually go as far as the barrier? Give me a second. Big front
Marc Carroll almost pushed aside by Mrak.
Mrak has caught up. Okay, now we're fighting for the championship. And a simple position gained there for Mrak. I don't think Carroll is overly concerned at the moment. He would want these cars to be in a line as they are now to be able to pick them off.
Yeah, but he's dropped to 5th.
Not to mention, there's probably damage to his little Clio Cup car now, after Stefenko's staunch defense through the last lap. Speaking of last lap, there's only one more to go. You think they're very
sturdy? I mean,
they are very sturdy, but they will still take... Stefenko gets it wrong.
Utterly wrong, and it's easy 4th place for Carroll.
Did he jump, or was he pushed? That's the main question.
And we're on lap 4 of 5, and Mrak, who is 2nd in the championship, in front of Carroll, who is 1st in the championship, in this second 5-lap race.
That was a Stefanko jumping off the circuit, trying to hold on to a little bit too much apex speed. Now trying to pressure Ricky Jimenez, but also struggling to keep with him. Oh, who's that? Is that Carol and Rack?
Nice. He's going to go on the outside, and somebody is going into pits.
There's also a car at the pit wall. Oh, yep, Silvestre into the pits, but now this is what I have. Now, the thing that is intriguing me is
Carol pushes Mark out.
Yeah, they're all getting a bit vicious here, aren't they?
Yeah, they're getting a little bit too excited.
So, if I may draw your attention to a thing, Alexei Savelyev has retired.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of just parked it in the tires while everything else was going on around him. But he seems to have been sat there for a while.
Okay, but he's in
the pits
now. Yeah.
But I'm just trying to see. He has been there for a while. What happened there?
And we are on lap 5 of 5 laps, and Mrak is like sniffing the fumes from Carol. That's so near to Carol as he can only get. The minute Carol just slips even 1 centimeter, Mrak is gonna be there.
Yep. Fastest lap of the race as well, but again, there's probably some damage there from the very, very firm racing that's been going on over the course of the race. Goes defensive for the championship
goes
leader.
On the inside.
Right. This is how you race. This is how you defend. Goes right back, almost the racing line. Will leave this position, the space on the outside, but this is where it gets.
Mrak gets difficult. A good exit. Oh, this is gonna be
a fun lap. Didn't get the drive.
No. But almost. That was nice driving. Wonderful. And Gunter profits. Gunter profits from everything and is on first on this second 5-lap race. The next one. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say what a vicious race this was.
Yeah, they were a little bit on it.
It's not just hot in the UK, it seems.
True that. So Brown, you're on. Do you even have AMS2, mate?
If he doesn't, he should.
And another thing that's got me very, very happy is AMS2 had a season pass 2020-2021, which will be finished in the summer of 23 with the release of the Adrenaline Pack. So if you had bought a seasons pass, you can be very happy because you got you got more than you expected and more time. Also because Haza took their sweet time to deliver. They accept that. And they are not going to prolong that. There is not going to be a second season pass, but they are now opening what they call Paddock Club membership. And if you don't own AMS2, you pay $200 US and get AMS2, all the DLCs that have come out, and all the DLCs that are going to come out still. If you already own AMS2, you can pay $170 and get all the DLCs that have come out and all the DLCs in the future. And if you already have all the DLCs until now, you can pay for $100. You become a member of the Paddock Club. But the interesting thing, they were offering, even before Automobilista 2 was out, they were offering a backer offer. And if you paid €99, and I think it was 100 USD at that time, you got AMS1 and all the DLCs, which I gifted somebody because I already had AMS1 and all the DLCs. Nice. You got AMS2 whenever it was coming out, because it was still in alpha, it was still being programmed, and what amounted to the first season pass. So it was already a good deal, and if you believed in Reza, you paid as I did, and I've had Automobilista 2 and all the DLCs that have come, including the upcoming Adrenaline Pass, Adrenaline Pack. Now, what they say is, if you were a backer then, if you paid €99 then, you are automatically a Paddock Club member, which means that those €99 USD that I paid 3 years ago when AMS2 was not out yet, not only gave me all the DLCs that they have brought out until now, but also all the future DLCs, because I am already what they call a Paddock Club member. Like, best investment I've done in sim racing since forever.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Rocco.
Involved in Nick, of course, involved in one of the more staunch fighting.
Let's call it that.
From last race, but obviously there's another one to come.
Oh yeah, now we get the 25-minute race, the long race of the evening, and I hope that now everyone is looking at the fuel and we won't have anybody going for fuel, because yikes.
There's plenty of time for things to go wrong. Plenty of time, yeah.
Yeah, Rocco, that €99 USD that we paid for backer, it's like really an incredible investment that we did then. I mean, I'm stoked already for Rallycross on Automobilista 2. If only my pedals would work. For some reason, Automobilista 2 does not recognize my pedals, and I've already put down a bug issue into the forum.
I was going to say, what's the it just doesn't recognize them at all.
No, it just says like, yeah, I know you have a Simo Cube, yeah, everything, and the wheel, yeah, and I recognize all the buttons, perfect, and you have pedals? I don't see the pedals. But Assetto Corsa Competizione sees the pedals. Yeah, but I don't. But Assetto Corsa sees the pedals. Yeah, but I don't. Okay, so I put the pedals on another USB tree. No, I don't see them. So it's the Fanatic V3, like not really pedals that nobody knows about.
Yeah,
like it's really, I mean, they have to be the most sold pedals in sim racing, those beasts. And as I said, all the other sims recognize them. R Factor 2, no problem. Assetto Corsa Competizione, sure. Assetto Corsa, yeah. Even F123 recognized my pedals, and F123 did not recognize my Simo Cube. So, like, even that one. But Automobilistas 2 goes and says, no, I don't see any pedals anywhere. And I've done everything that the developers told me. Like, oh yeah, put them in another USB tree. Yeah, I already did that. Start with only the pedals, let Automobilista 2 recognize the pedals, and then put the SimuCube on. Yeah, no, like SimuCube off, Automobilista 2 does not recognize the pedals. Go deep into the system and delete any instance of the pedals on any of the USBs and put them on again. Okay, I went deep into the system, and the innards of Windows are scary.
Yep.
And did that. Automobilista 2, what pedals, mate? So, yeah. I'm miffed. And until now, it was always that with every new version, I had to delete my controller settings. I had to remind Automobilista 2, yes, I have a wheel. Yes, I have a rim. Yes, I have pedals here, blah, 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 which was already a bother. But with the last update, it doesn't recognize the pedals. It's not only that I have to delete the controllers so that it recognizes them all again. It's that it goes and says, yeah, you don't have any pedals on the system. Yes, I do. No. Yes, I do. ACC says that I do. Even F123 says that I do. Yeah, but I say you don't. So I opened up a bug.
You have found an issue.
Yeah, that's the way that I say it too when I talk to management about problems in the software.
Here we go then. 1 minute and 30 seconds until the warm-up lap. But this should be a fairly calm race, I would suggest. He lied. This is what the drivers were qualifying for at the start of the evening. Hey, and it's a 5-lap race, apparently.
Nick! Nick, I think there's something you should change. We're gonna see a 1.5 minute warm-up.
Yes. Restart warm-up proposed by Nick. That's a thought.
Oh yeah, and Marty says Le Mans is coming to Automobilista 2. Yeah, absolutely. I forgot that, which is not small fries either. And it's something that some of the people I talked about that had knowledge were just, they were saying like, squint a little bit and you may see Le Mans. And I was like, really? Like Le Mans? Rocco, I've done that. Like the problem is I cannot assign them.
There we go.
Automobilista 2 says I don't have any pedals. And I'm like, no.
Suggestion.
It's a good suggestion because normally if you had issues with the pedals, it worked like that. But in my case, Automobilista 2, and as I'm saying, as the only sim, is saying, yeah, no, you don't have any pedals on the system. So I'm completely like, I don't know what to do, so that's why I opened the bug.
Time to order an adapter that converts it to something else. That's what I've got to do at some point to separate the pedals, the Logitech pedals and shifter from the wheel, so that I can upgrade to a direct drive. Speaking of direct drives,
yeah, what I did was the first thing that I changed. I was so running Intel CPU, and I would have to look the BIOS, but I mean, again, Automobilista 2 is the only one that has the issues. So what I did when I had the G29 was the pedals were the first thing that I changed. So I bought first new pedals, the CS, the Fanatec V3, and then I bought the rest. But you were saying, and I think I know what you were saying.
Yep. Yeah, speaking of direct drive wheels. Oh my goodness, the new Camus wheels.
I mean, portable DD wheel, which supposedly delivers something like 8 Newton meter with pedals for, what was it, 300
euro.
Yeah,
That's 300 euro.
It's like, we know why Fanatic went down with the price. By the way, it's something we knew already because Camus had given us advance notice, but telling us don't disclose it until Monday, which is completely okay. But we knew when we saw that Fanatic was going down with the price of the DD system, we knew they were doing it because they were already smelling what Camus was going to do.
Well, this makes me even more excited for the LP8. So the LP8 system that
is the 8 Newton meter, but that is not portable, but fixed on something. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But wow, that's going to be an interesting. Where are they going to put that price point? But yeah, the what's really interesting. I was watching Dave Cam earlier today, just as background noise while I was working, and he was super impressed.
You were not watching Rom Rom?
No. I'd watched all of Rom Rom already. No, but the thing is that he got the review copy of the C5 and the CP5s. So I wanted to see what they were like in the metal, and they do look very cheap, but then they are very, very cheap, and their Hall effect, which is fascinating for racing, is a genuinely, as you say, that whole system is genuinely a portable. It's genuinely a portable system that you can. And the thing is, as well, is because the pedals are Hall effect. Conceivably, let's talk entirely in hypotheticals here. If you were if you were stuck in hotels, and all you had was a desk that you could clamp to, that C5 and those CP5 pedals are incredible because they're sprung, they're Hall effect. They don't need an amount of pressure to push against the wall or anything.
But let's go back to the race after the exactly.
This is what
we are about to start. And we have Mrak and Carol in first and second, as was in the qualifying, so this is going to be hot.
Oh, Biraud gets a poor start and gets leapfrogged by Silvestre off the start and is going to lose out to Stefanko as well. Big action in the background.
Oh, yes.
I didn't see how that happened. Someone got an excellent start there. No penalties, everyone's clean? Yep. That was 4 wide into turn 1. Oh, and the action has started before they even got to turn 1. What happened there?
Somebody had cold tires and cold brakes and did not stop
No.
soon enough for turn 1, because that would be the standard.
Nope, it happened before that point. So we're looking at Ricky Jimenez and Clement Sedusak in 10th and 13th at the moment. Sedusak pushing Jimenez to the inside and then essentially spinning him off the nose of the car.
Ay.
And Solaski, I think, spun on his own, actually on car. Oh no, he was taken out in the process as well.
Mrak and Gunter doing what they always do. Mrak in front, Gunter behind him, not exerting too much pressure, just helping out.
Yeah. And Savaliev was included in that as well. So 4 cars taken out in the first corner. Well, before the first corner had even come to the track.
Whoa, no. It looked like 3 wide, but it isn't.
It was very nearly 3 wide. It was only the maturity of Dome and Gantar sitting, letting off, and knowing that he'd have the apex speed and the exit speed to keep the MC Motorsport car of Carlos Abitanda behind him, that meant it wasn't going to be 3 wide into the final corner. And now Mrag versus Carroll. This is the race we've been wanting to see.
Yep.
Fastest lap for Carroll on the first time of asking. We'll see how long that stands for, but these guys are going to be attached by a very short piece of string for the entirety of this race.
22 minutes to go still, so that's gonna be heavy.
Plenty of time, and I can well believe that Gantar and Mrak are absolutely in contact in the background and making sure that they are working together and keeping enough space. Look at the safety space that Gantar's leaving to his teammate, allowing him to focus forward as Papadopoulos finally gets into the top 10. Further down the field, battle over 9th position. Papadopoulos in the lead of this little group of 4 cars. Yeah. Another one of those touches that if that was a different class of car, it would have been the end of Biraud's race. But he was able... These Clios, man, they stand up to a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch, if you take a look at one of these cars, Mrak trying to go on the inside, but thinking better of it.
Yeah.
If you look at one of these cars at the end of a race, they're dinged everywhere.
Absolutely. There's a reason they're made of plastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely wouldn't want to... Oh my goodness, this race over the top 4 positions, it's so close. You can see as well why they were so desperate to get to the head of the field. It's not so much that they were being hungry to get to the front or anything. This is their natural pace, and I'm sure that there will be conversation in the Discord after this round of these 4 drivers saying we weren't half of the overtakes we were making. We weren't trying to overtake. We just happened to be there. I've had that plenty of times as well. You brake at your braking point, and suddenly you're overtaking a car, and you had no intent of overtaking that car.
Rack always looking for an opening. Carol not giving many openings, but still. I think he's either a little bit tired or he is suffering the pressure, which would be a surprise to me.
100%. Carroll has been putting the pressure on himself all evening so far.
Yep.
And for him to finally cave to the pressure of the slow racing car of Mrak, that wouldn't be surprising.
Let's see. For now, he's keeping a good position. He's doing a good race. And what you were saying, I mean, it's what we all know and what we all strive to. If you're consistent, you're gonna be faster than most of the others.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And first best lap time was Mrak. Second was Carol. Third, imagine who? Mrak. So they're doing best times here and there and there and here and everywhere.
Terjisak finally gets past Biraud over 11th and 12th, but then runs wide, and now Biraud able to look back up the inside. All that hard work done for nothing. Over under again. As we watch the battle for the lead. Good grief, this is nail biting.
Thing is, these 4 are in a league by themselves because the space to Solar on 5th is 4 seconds. 4 seconds.
Yeah.
These guys are all within 2 seconds of each other.
Yeah. It's really, really interesting. So we've got the top four that are absolutely on it as far as the top pace is concerned. You've got Solar Stefenko in 5th and 6th, separated by about a second and a half. Then you've got Silvestre leading a train of 3, 4, 4 cars. I think it's fair to say
5.
7th, 8th, 9th, 10th.
Well,
11th in the same sector.
Stepanenko, he's quite near to Stepanenko, so I would say Stepanenko to Paparinopoulos, it's about 5 cars, kinda.
Yeah, Papadopoulos just at the end of this. I know Jimenez is kind of in the group as well. It depends how well it goes.
Yeah.
But as you say, being consistent in these cars is so difficult because weirdly you do wear the rear tires out quite a bit for what.
Oh, and we missed it. Mrak overtook Karol.
How did that happen? I don't know. This is going to be on the back straight, I think. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Big dive. It was a big dive into the final corner.
Oh.
He had the speed and he just sent it. Oh, there was a perceivable difference between when they were braking there. Mark was playing safe and Gasper was having absolutely none of it.
Well, of course, if you're second, you're not playing it safe.
Absolutely.
You are going for the first as soon as you can.
So here's the question then: can Gasper push Mark Carroll back into the clutches of his teammate Doman Gantar, and can Gantar make that position? That's what the game is now, and you can see just corner by corner, inch by inch, Doman Gantar no longer focusing on keeping that safety gap to Abdanda behind. He needs that second place to support his teammate.
Or at least he needs to put pressure of Karol so that Karol cannot concentrate on trying to get the first position.
Absolutely. Further down the field, Ricky Jimenez and Antonis Papanopoulos finally getting into the fight and just getting into the Andriusevich car, causing issues there. But no harm, no foul. Those cars all back in the same fight once again. Just about a second between Papanopoulos and Andriusevich up to the cars ahead. Looks like Silvestre might get Stefenko across the line on this lap. Oh, but he braves it around the outside again. Much more respectful here in this 25-minute race.
Well, I suppose because it's 25 minutes, they know A, they have enough time, and B, if they mess up now at the beginning of the race, the end of the race is going to be horrible.
Yes, absolutely. You got to look after the cars here because you need that rear end stability. My goodness, they are really going at it here, aren't they? The Stepanenko gets the position back. This is absolutely going to be bringing the two trailing cars back into the fight in no time at all if they focus forward and don't fight amongst themselves side by side. They'll come up the hill into turn 7.
Sorry, Gantar is trying to be exceedingly dangerous to Karol. He went on the inside almost as if to overtake, while Karol is still almost glued to the back of Mrak.
There isn't a Clio-shaped space in that gap, but Gantar may well attempt to find it. Interesting how he drops back on that back straight.
Oh, Karol going on the outside.
Oh, we saw this. This is how Gantar made the position last time. But Karol, being forced right to the inside. Switch back for turn 1. Does he have the confidence on the brakes to go around the outside? We've seen Stepanenko do this 2 races in a row.
He's got the lights on, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's unsurprising.
And Gunter is now... these three are glued to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at that.
Yeah. The Klieta in the slow racing sandwich here.
And we know we're missing Stepanenko and Jimenez, which are having a battle. But like, this battle is incredible, and it's for first, second, and third.
This is the reason why there's two commentators, so that we can give you some commentary of other battles around the field. What we have coming up through turn 4 at the moment is Stepanenko. Then it is now Ricky Jimenez. Whoa, as that is Carol getting the lead back. What happened there? I saw both of them out wide. Was that a push from Carol?
I didn't see that. Ooh, going on the inside.
On. Oh wow. Okay. So, Carol got airborne on the braking turn in towards turn 7 and pushed Mrak wide.
It happens. If it's a racing incident, it's a racing incident.
Yeah, I think that's about fair. That will have been the first time that Carol's now back in second as well, so he has probably given that position back. Now having to go defensive against Domagantar in that second slow racing car. Does keep it all together for the time being. Mrak looking safe now in that first position. 11 minutes remaining. How is the battle over? Papranopoulos has somehow made it all the way through that group of cars up to 6th position. So in that, and peculiarly, it's in the time that the lead has changed. So that's only been that last lap, because Papranopoulos was behind before. And he is now clear by about a second. And Stefanenko as well has fallen back to 10th position. So what's happened here for Stepanenko to fall back?
Checking the...
Just having a look at the replay. I have no doubt there's going to be some kind of reason for it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the stopper in the bottle was finally uncorked. It was Ricky Jimenez that went to the outside, got on the brakes, got sideways into the side of Nick Stepanenko. Up at turn 7. Is that turn 7 once again proving to be an issue for the drivers? Going up the inside and that weight transfer, that little lip crest at the top is catching the drivers out as the tyres wear down here.
And they still have 10 minutes to go, so if the tires are already worn down...
It's a fairly simple fix. You just move the brake bias forward a bit. And be a bit more careful. Some of the drivers are going to be carrying a lot of damage here at this point in the race with all the minor contacts that they've been having. So having to play a little bit more cautiously after the absolute barn fight that it's been throughout the evening is not surprising or unexpected at all.
And by the way, the Clio mod that is done by the racing club by
ASRC,
exactly, has seen an update in the last weekend, I think on Friday or something like that, that has made the tires a little bit smaller and therefore more prone to overheating.
Oh no. Okay, that explains all of the issues that we're having tonight.
But they have done them more realistic. They had a bug, so to speak. They had
to the lead once again through turn 7.
Sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. And this was a much cleaner pass this time. Had it done before they even got to the apex, and kept it on the track. Mrak having to just take ever so slightly evasive action there, but the majority of that was a really, really clean pass for Carol.
And by the way, you can see in many of the corners here that the cars are tripoding. It's incredible.
Just mirroring real life. Again, it's another one of those
True.
things where ASRC absolutely put their heart and soul into this. And you can see by the quality of the racing and how much this mirrors real life racing as well. And that's the key, isn't it?
Rock getting the first position back. A very, very nice overtake. Very clean.
Crazy how much speed he's able to take around the outside of those apexes. Carroll, once again, the meat in a slow racing sandwich, and is going to have to recover himself and try and get that first position back before Doman Gantar, now free of Carlos Abadanda by about 2.5 seconds, will no longer have to worry about defending. Really tight apex there for Mark Carroll, closing up a couple of tenths, a couple of all-important meters towards the back of the Gasper Marat car. Up towards turn 7, is he going to go for the same move again? He's already looking, but not going to happen this time.
Well, he still has 7 minutes to go. So
discretion, the better part of valor. He only needs to lead 1 lap. So maybe if he can save his tires and make that all-important attack into the final corner, that's all
but he cannot lean back too much, because if he leans back, Gantar is on the is behind him and ready to get that second position. Absolutely, and if Gantar goes into the second position, Carroll will never get first, whatever he does.
No, absolutely. You can't. They will create a wall.
Because if Mrak and Gantar do one thing well, is that team. Oh, Carroll going on the inside. Oh, his car a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. But he gets that corner badly. Comes out with much less speed, and Mrak is able to retake the first position easily.
Carroll was very lucky there not to lose that second position as well, locking up the rear. I think that was the inside tyre that he locked up. I saw smoke coming off. I don't think it was the front tyre that was smoking.
Yeah. But that's not good for the tyres 5 minutes before end of the race. He should not be doing that.
The main issue is that where he's going round, this is an anti-clockwise circuit, so the main tyre that is used is the right-hand tyre, but every time he goes around the left-hand corner, he's going to feel that of the rear left tyre that he's leaning on, and he's going to lose him confidence. He has another look to the inside up towards turn 7. This is where he's been making his moves most often. Didn't have the speed this time. Tyres starting to give out for the MC Motorsport Cleata team.
I would also expect Mrak to be aware that this is the place where Carroll has been overtaking him. Oh, a little bit, a little kiss from Gantar.
And again, that's another one of the things that R-Factor does really, really well is contact and representing how the contact affects the car. Tiniest little of punts, nothing too dramatic, just Gantar telling Carroll, look, I'm here. I've got more tyre life left here. I am going to be pressuring you for the rest of this race.
Carroll keeps on the outside, but goes again on the inside. Thinks better of it.
Ricky Jimenez now just past Antonis Papadopoulos for 6th. Coming down the fast back straight, Papadopoulos is going to get the draft. Jimenez goes defensive, right defensive. That's how you go defensive. None of this sitting in the middle of the track. Get right to the inside of the track. Leave them no option. Up on the curbs. Papadopoulos gets a big wiggle, but gets it stopped critically. Now Jimenez still stuck on the inside. Papadopoulos has the slightly better exit speed. Means that Jimenez can't go to the racing line. He's going to have to adjust his speed, and can Papadopoulos make it happen? He's going to go straight to the outside again through turn 3 here. But I think that's about all of the charge that Papadopoulos could muster for the moment.
Carol now taking the outside
Carol,
on the...
It's his favourite, turn 7.
Yeah. And he's... No. It looked as if he
discretion-
was going on the inside, but no.
Yeah, discretion the better part of valor once again. I think he saw that Mrak was not going to give him the space. This time he doesn't give much of a choice. But that could be defending against Gantar as much as it is attacking Mrak there.
I think Mrak went a little bit wide. Could that be?
It was a wider line, but it's a fair enough passage through turn 8 and 9. Especially in these Clios. But now look at the drive that Carroll's got off of the final corner. He's got the top end speed and the draft helping him. It's going to be defensive for Mrak. And Carroll goes to the outside. Can he do what Gasper Mrak has done to him so many times? No, he can't. No. Tries to go back to the inside, but there's a Clio in the way. He can't get the throttle down as he like to. He's going to look to the inside now, but drag across to the inside of the corner. Mrak goes back to the racing line. He knows where his priorities are, but side by side they'll come through turns 1 and 2. Carroll is classified as in the lead, coming up towards turn 3, turn 2 then, and Carroll will carry the inside line into the lead. I said
and
he only
needed to could be the last lap of the race, by the way.
He only needed to lead 1 lap, and if he can push these two back towards it so that it is the final lap of the race, I have no doubt that Mark Carroll on those approaching dead tyres is going to absolutely go for that.
Oh, and he's already half a second away. That's strange. I think it was just an artifact of where they were in the track.
Yes, yeah, their lines are going to be very different. If Gasper is looking after his tires better than Carroll, then they will have to take different lines through each of the corners.
1 minute to go. There we go. Very long track.
I'm not sure if they'll make it another lap. It's going to be... I don't think they will. It's going to be so tight, though. And it's going to be... So Carroll is going to want to not have to take another lap.
Yeah, I fear this is not going to be the last lap. I fear for Carroll.
Yeah.
We're going to see just one more lap, I think.
Unless he parks it on the apex.
Yeah,
no, he doesn't.
No.
He's thinking like a racing driver. He's not thinking of the time. And with 8 seconds to go, 6 as we come across the line, it will be the final lap of the race. Mark Carroll will be scored as the leader. Can he retain that lead for another 1 minute and 53 seconds?
Have to see, because this is going to be interesting.
Notice how Gantar's fallen away as well.
Yeah. I think Gantar's tires are completely off. No.
Yeah, he was pushing those really, really hard.
Or he has to be careful with the fuel.
That's the other thing. Yeah. I'm sure that in his mind he wasn't going to be doing quite this many laps. Oh, as what happened there? Zenkov getting together. 3 cars. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Papadopoulos, Jimenez, and Silvestre got into an argy-bargy.
Yeah.
Carroll just keeping ahead of Mrak. And we need 15 cameras.
Oh, we do. Sokolovsky got very sideways, got into Zenkov, and basically bowling balled Zenkov into Zedjusak, fighting over 13th position. But did give the positions back critically.
Carroll going very on the defensive.
He only needs to do it one more time, but Gasper Mrak only needs one opportunity on the brakes. Is this going to be Gasper
what
Rack?
was that?
I think that was contact. That is absolutely going to be contact.
And that's going to be something that that race control is going to be taking a look.
Yeah.
Carol stops and goes into pits, either out of rage or because he had no fuel anymore.
Yeah, let's see from the Gasper Marat car what happened here. So, do you know what it was? Do you know what it was? It was Mark Carroll moving in the braking zone.
Ah.
There was no contact whatsoever. Carroll.
He's gonna be pissed with himself.
Yep. After all of that, and again, what an incredible drive from Gasper Mack here.
Yeah.
He outbraked the race leader. He outbraked the race leader in such a way that Carroll was like, I have got no option but to defend this, and still made the corner.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if he had made contact. No doubt had confirmation from Gantar behind. No, there was air between you. And then, yeah, he still hasn't had any contact. He hasn't had any confirmation.
Oh, well. This has been, once again, 3 fantastic races of the Russell Cup of the ASRC. Next week, 26th of June, you're gonna be enjoying these races at Pikerniki. I hope I kinda said that right.
Yeah.
And which is a track that I don't know very much. And, well, any last words from you, Ike, out of this fantastic race?
I was going to say, we've got 16 cars. We've had 16 cars on the track all evening, and the racing has been nail-biting and frenetic from start to finish. I don't know how you can not like this track after what you've seen tonight. But... yep, Gasper has summed it up in the server chat. What an amazing race. What a incredible 3 races that we've had tonight. Fights up and down the field. We had nowhere near enough cameras to keep on top of all of the fights. Let's see if we can have a slightly more calm race next time out.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but we'll wait and we'll hope, and we'll have a great time regardless.
This has been the Russell Cup in Moscow. Next week, the next 3 races of the Russell Cup. And until next week, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium. Bye.
Bye.